Hello techies, I'm Divya here. On behalf of CyberBrainer, don't you think the world of tech is evolving faster than ever? Now is the perfect time to dive in and build the skills that will take you places. With CyberBrainer, we are putting you in the driver's seat of your own future. We at CyberBrainer don't just teach your interest. We believe that knowledge is power, but it's applied knowledge that truly sets you apart. Whether you're diving into data science, mastering artificial intelligence, or exploring the world of cybersecurity, our courses are designed to give you the skills that matter. So let's jump into the session and make the future yours today. Thank you.
We'll be giving a kind of first introduction to Workday Learning. We have basic terms that we frequently use. The campaign is one that I said is similar to campaign. And we have a few more terms that we frequently use on a day-to-day basis of learning management system. We'll be getting the terminology, get aware of those terms and terminology, and also how to handle security requirements. If you're creating a course for one team, the other team should not. Of course, only that particular team has to see. Such kind of things that support it. But still, since you're trying as a kind of opportunity based on this, I think that will be an added advantage for you. And there is one more within Workday Learning. There is something called another sub-learning module called Extended Enterprise Learning. Workday Learning, it's a kind of extended model we have which provides access to international employees to perform their learning. Say you're working for an organization and that organization is live with Workday and including the Workday Learning. That is, live with all other modules like Core, HC, and Benefits, Payroll. With all these modules, the Workday is live with international ES location. And now we know your organization is planning to implement Workday for India. But still, you wanted to have India Amit. You mean the integration with other apps or... No. Extended Enterprise is learning, but which will be extending learning to international employees. Oh, it's related to international employees. Let's say your organization is in the US and in India. In the US, employees have access to Workday Learning System. But since in India is not part of Workday, they will not have access to Workday Learning. To those, the India employees will be extending the learning application through Extended Learning module. They'll have this access for learning. This is one of the sub-module within learning. There is nothing but Enterprise Learning System. We call it as Extended Enterprise Learning System is a kind of the sub-module within Workday. And configuring the dashboard workspace announcement is something which is again a kind of core configuration. You'll not be doing this. As a kind of learning admin, you'll not be doing this work. This is not related to your space. But for you to want to know, if you wanted to see how many employees have completed this course, how many employees did not complete this course, and how many have started, how many have not started, such kind of information or statistics. If you wanted to see, you'll go to the dashboards and find the information. We created a dashboard for you as a kind of in a Workday in members will be creating a dashboard for you. And as a kind of learning business team, you will be part of learning business team because you will work. You will be a kind of learning business user for us. We'll be creating a dashboard for you. And as a kind of business user, you can go to dashboard and the track how many have completed the course, how many have not completed, how many are in progress, such kind of statistics, and you can find from dashboards. That information we'll show you how we can get this information. And similarly, core of learning space. How we can see the learning, kind of area where you can add course, view course, such kind of things. You can see. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Dashboard is main activities for the LMS administrator. Because we are launching a course or a classroom session, whatever, and we should know who are completed, who are not completed. Yes, you should know that. We will be creating a dashboard for you. And whenever you wanted to see who have completed, who have not completed, you can go to the dashboard and find that information. You'll not be getting access to create dashboards and all because that is kind of separate security area. You will not be getting access to dashboard. It's a Workday team who will be creating dashboards for you as per your requirement. That's how we wanted to have the team with dashboards for you. There are some kind of delivered dashboards which Workday offers. We can review this. And if you wanted to have any kind of specific other dashboards, we can see how we can get those dashboards. In this first one, we will be covering all those things. And second week, we will be going in deeper for learning. We'll try to perform or learn some core configurations of Workday Learning. And what are the typical day-to-day learning related components that will be working? And how does you know if you wanted to make changes to any of the core configuration, or if you wanted to have any kind of process addition to the business process, let's say employee enrolls into the course. Once employee enrolls into the course, there should be a kind of notification for a manager or employee that you have enrolled into the course. And this is sitting in manager queue for an approval. When it goes for manager to approve the enrollment, it should send a notification that your enrollment is sitting with your manager. And once your manager approves, you will be enrolled into the course. Kind of information you need to send to an employee. How do you get this kind of things? How do you do kind of configuration of this kind of notifications and all you'll be learning? But generally you'll not do this because your role will be completely into managing a learning system. It's not a kind of configuration. It's not a kind of technical work that you'll do. You'll be managing learning system for end users and for your employees. But we'll be configuring that and get you some kind of understanding. Yes, this is how we know learning model will work. When there are courses created, when courses wanted to add as part of security, all those things will be showing you how it works. We'll be creating and showing how it works. Practical understanding will be helpful for you, but you'll not be. We'll give you that knowledge. But in general real-time scenario, you'll not be doing that work. Got it? These are typical learning terms that we have. Enrolling multiple employees as part of mass enrollment in the course and business process. Campaign is one thing. Learning catalog is one thing. And the course, which individual course that we can create. And that's what we discussed. You know the way we wanted to know the status on your fingers. You know when you wanted to understand the status of completion. That is one thing. And if you are a manager of your team, and you are as a manager, and you wanted to enroll your team members into one of the course, you can do that. That kind of configuration will be seen and how to create instructors and assign instructors to existing course learning course, or creating a learning course and add the instruction to that course is one thing that we'll be seeing. And the learning administrator is one of the core security user that will be giving you all the permissions that you wanted to access in learning area. You wanted to create a campaign with just without access to the card. Create a campaign. Because you need to have a campaign security access. When you have that, you should be getting access to create a campaign. We'll be learning about campaigns and scheduling the campaigns and learning courses we have. as a kind of course. We have two kind of courses, generally virtual course and in-person course. When you're creating a virtual course, what are the considerations that you need to make? And when you're creating a classroom course, what are the things that you need to have? All those things that you need to do. And there is something called programs. Combination of multiple classroom courses and virtual courses is nothing but a program. Let's say employees joining the organization. You assign 10 virtual courses and 5 classroom courses. When employee completes all these 15 courses, employee will be getting completion of the program. In my case LMS, we will call it as a learning path. Learning path. Learning path. That is something that a bunch of courses will be available. I got it. It can be an in-person course or it can be a virtual course. There's nothing but a program. And offerings is nothing but course offerings. Nothing but where you'll be offering a course to employee to complete. Assigning or publishing. Publishing. You'll publish that. And service, if you wanted to do any kind of service, seeking a feedback from employees, and once they have done with the course. Such kind of things that you'll be seeing, and the topics is nothing but a kind of umbrella that will be holding lessons, that will be holding courses. If you're creating any course in one day, that course should be part of a topic. If you're creating anything related to the Workday that you're visiting, is that an authoring tool on the topic? What is that authoring tool? I can create the course. No, it's a kind of umbrella. You know that will be holding courses. All topics will be holding all the courses. Let's say you're creating any course related to benefits there should be a topic to hold all the benefit related courses. Is there creating any kind of course related to HR? There should be a topic that will be holding all the HR courses, just like a folder. Just a kind of a folder, is it not a folder? Which will be holding courses. That is nothing but a topic we can say. The next thing is security. What kind of key is security that you can configure in learning? You're not able to perform any kind of learning related activity. What security is missing there? You'll be able to get some kind of understanding there. And typically, if you're seeing my screen, these are the 4 security tools that we typically have in learning. Learning administrator and instructors, assessors, employee is nothing but who is a regular employee. An implementation partner is nothing but who implements a Workday to customers. And manager is nothing but who manages team members. And security is nothing but who manages complete security of the Workday product. We'll be learning about the security rules. You'll not be creating this, but you should know what security will give permission to create a course. What security will give permission to manage something kind of information, and you should be able to understand. That is about the security areas that we'll be covering. And there are certain kind of business processes. Business process configuration, let's say like kind of workflows. Let's say it's employee. Employee is enrolled into the course. If the course is having any kind of cost associated to that one, whatever employee has enrolled into the course, that course has some cost associated. Then you should not directly enroll employee into the course. You should go for a manager approval. Only once manager approves the course, employee should be able to enroll into the course. Such kind of business process You know how do you create a business process and set up something. You know that you wanted to be part of a learning system, will be creating and selecting the business process and get a bit of that information. And also for every business process and for every security group we have something called domains. Domains are nothing but permissions. If you don't have permissions, you'll not be able to access that information. If you are reporting, if you are creating a report to pool all the learning related courses, but if the report does not have access to learning user, we'll be configuring the kind of security group that will allow access that particular report or any kind of learning related configuration. What kind of basic security that should give you access to perform your job. Your job is to manage a learning system. What is the security that you need to have to perform your activities on day to day without any kind of issues? That is something we'll be trying to give you a kind of understanding. This is what I've been, since you know you'll be learning coordinator. You'll be getting this access, or since you know you'll be learning admin, you'll be getting this access. Such kind of things we'll be examining and will be giving you that kind of knowledge to handle the security request. From in terms of end user, in terms of, technically, both, you can get some kind of understanding. When it starts, I think it should be good for you. When you have a kind of practical understanding of configuring security and other stuff. Amit, I have a question here. What is the difference between courses and lessons? For every course that you create, lesson is a kind of mandatory. Let's say you're creating a learning, but the learning course you're creating and that learning course has some kind of video interactions. Some kind of video has to be there. When you want to have that video file attached to the course lesson is the one thing that will be able to take this one. Lesson will have all the kind of additions of video files or any kind of documents that you can attach. When I enter into the course, I'll be able to, look at the PDF files or attend the training, which is external training, attend the training and get that kind of knowledge. Every course lesson you will be creating, which will be holding the copy of your lesson that you're going to create, and the kind of name that you need to provide, what kind of a lesson, the name that you need to provide, and you need to access the kind of file that has to be attached to the course from Workday. You'll be placing all those files in your local desktop. And when you're creating, a course and when you're adding a lesson, system will ask you that which is the lesson that you wanted to upload such kind of information. And you'll be adding and placing that in Workday. That is something on the components. Extended learning is nothing, but we already discussed which extends to international employees. And it is nothing but which is a kind of folder, I can say, which is holding all the Workday related documents. These are the minimum things that you need to be aware of when you're starting something knowing about learning. And I also try to get you some kind of typical general use cases that we follow in learning area that you can focus on those and talk in your interview about that. That is about, kind of content that we'll be covering. Based on the data, we can plan over 20 hours of session. This is a learning system. When you join any organization, you'll be getting similar kind of access to Workday. If you go to a learning area, As a kind of learning administrator, you will be accessing this information. These are all the learning courses that you'll find in the list. When you're creating, you can define your own image, but this is a standard learning report that will allow you to set up. The courses will help. These are all the courses that we typically create and enable for employees to select the courses. And this is one of the main areas that will frequently come and work. Employer, the kind of individual contributor, can go and select any of the courses from here, keeping management informed. As a user, as a learner, you'll be getting access to Learning Administrator Security Group, where you can access the most of the information. Learning Administrator is something which will provide administrative access to get you the kind of permissions to manage anything related to Workday in based on employee completions. If you wanted to understand, when did this employee complete kind of things, you can get from Learning Admin Workload. And this is nothing but a dashboard. If you are seeing here, this is a typical dashboard you can see. For Logan McNeil has completed, course with this percentage. And the other people, sum is the report. We can customize these things. This can be customized as how we want it to happen. We can do that. Campaign dashboard is something where you can see the stuff campaigns available. These are all the campaign things that are available. This is another kind of learning system access that you'll be getting. You can reach out to CloudFurnish and ask them that they need a Workday environment, access of sandbox. And probably when we start our hands-on session from tomorrow, you can keep that as a kind of reference. I will do. That is on this course and typically have. Everything is a task based in Workday. It's nothing that you need to go and find something in Monday according to need, but everything is as well. If you are to create a course, access the task. Everything is task. Whatever you're looking for, you just enter that. But you should be able to see types of courses, which I said this in the course, in a virtual course and blended course, in-person course. Can you show me what is in-person course and digital course? Just overview. When you create a digital course and when people are enrolling in the digital course, which means that the course is virtual, instructor will be somewhere and the people who are attending the training will be somewhere. Through digital course, we can connect to the business process and have those created. And when you are creating a digital course, it's nothing but a combination of, video interaction related courses. And coming to blended course. Blended course is nothing but where you need to attend the class to get the training. Like classroom training in person, training second set, instructor later. You'll mostly create digital courses, and blended will not be a kind of user request. You should be aware of the process of how blended courses will behave, kind of this information. When you go for a digital course, you will find a lot of interesting options inside. You can see you can create all the course information, of course. If you want it to keep open or closed, you can do and is that. Here you can add a lesson. If you want to have that video recordings, have any URL that you can access that through this, and the media is nothing but again files with the kind of medical information. The employee will be able to see their courses based on the kind of feedback that you give. Surveys. If you wanted to schedule a survey, you can do that. And external content is nothing but where you can place your URLs. You have scheduled some time today, and within 30 minutes, you know the kind of survey has to be sent based on the completion. Survey will be sent to employees about all the kind of hours that we have. Survey will be sending survey results, and media will be showing all the media files, and external content is nothing but it will be showing or giving you a kind of option to add your ends for long training. You'll be adding your URLs, and employee can access that URL and provide the information that they'll be looking for. And we can see the survey results. What employee can? For example, I'm just launching this survey here. What is the feedback? The answers submitted by the learner. I want to see the report that puts this information. And we'll create a report that will give you the information about, what is going with the kind of enrollments and people who have not enrolled. You'll be able to track that through Excel content or media. And for launching or mapping the survey, we have to create this survey outside of our Workday, or I can create it. We think only. Creating a lot of work there. Everything you'll create within. That's the kind of basic content that we'll be covering. Also, if you have any kind of questions on what we'll be discussing on a day-to-day basis, you can come up with those questions. Those are the topics that are scheduled. But if you have any kind of scheduled topic or any specific expectation that you have from this course, add to the list and get familiar of that concept. Let me think about that. As I'm new to Berkeley, I don't have much expectation. Then I want to learn in and out of work. Not the technical part. I know, as I am not a technical person, I don't want to learn or understand our technical terms. That's fine. But wherever I want to know about the technical or administrative tasks, I can learn. I think we'll be getting you some kind of configuration that handles core configurations. That should help you. This is a system, what you're seeing now. And when you join a position even, you'll be getting a similar kind of system and you will be provided with your login, user ID and password, or with your account. You should be able to get into the system. You should be seeing all your details now, your profile. And this is something where someone has to. You see look, we have inbox. Whatever we need to take action. Let's say, if you are a learning administrator, generally, once employee enrolled into the course and learning administrator has to approve that one or reject that one. Say either of this, learning administrators should take an action. Such kind of tasks you should be getting in this task. If you are a manager of a team member, when employee submits a leave request, as a manager, you need to approve that. Or you need to approve, or you need to deny that one. Such kind of tasks you'll be getting into this inbox. This is nothing but the tasks are sent to us. The task you are responsible to take an action. Let's say learning administrator. I told you. There will be 4 learning administrator in the team. Once any employee enrolled into that course, all those 14 will be getting the same task in their inbox. And at least one person takes an action. One person approves or rejects. That goes up from all the 4 people inbox. At least one person has to take an action, and that person takes an action, either of you 4, I said. Anyone learning administrator takes an action. The task will go from the 4 people inbox. This one we call it as an inbox. Workday inbox we call it as. We get a task, what are responsible? What are tasks that we are responsible to take an action? Such kind of tasks you will be getting into this inbox. You will be mostly getting your request to this inbox. You should be clear what to take action on this. Every day, you should go to this inbox and see what all the action items that you have that you need to take an action. And this one is a notification. Something like will notify you. The status of the task. Let's say employee enrolled into the course. An employee enrolled into the course, or when employee completes into the course, you should be getting a kind of notification that this employee has completed the course. Kind of notice that you will be notified. This employee has completed the course. Kind of notification. These are nothing but show you the status of the activity that you would be seeing. It can be a course completion, it can be a kind of course creation, it can be a kind of survey delivery or campaign delivery, anything. Anything can be. If you wanted to know the status of the activity, you should be seeing some notifications. There is a difference between these two. Can we create a notification? And yes, we can create notifications. We can create. I'll show during business process. I'll show you how to create a notifications. You need to be clear on these two. One is inbox that you are responsible to take an action. The other one is just to view for you. There is no action that you should be taking here, just you'll be viewing the status of the job. That's about this thing. And if you click on employee profile, there's nothing but profile. If you click on this profile, it should be getting into employee profile. These are all employee profiles. We call it as profile options. We typically call this profile options. Whatever activities that you're seeing here, these are different models that we have involved. Like summary, job, personal contact information are under one module called Core HCM. Core HR is nothing but which talks about employee job information. Whatever job transaction that employee is undergoing in any HR, not only Workday, any other HR system, that is nothing but undercore HR module. And compensation. If you see the compensation or whatever the employees are afforded with the compensation, there is nothing but coming from compensation module. And benefits, whatever employee benefits that the employer is offering, those benefits can be seen here, and that comes under benefits module. And similarly, payroll module, performance modules. Career is nothing but which is a mixture of talent learning. These are the two modules that are mixed up with career, and you can see learning is there. Learning is nothing, but if you go to here, whatever this employee with whom you have logged in, whatever employee has completed the courses or did not start the courses, you can. If you go down, you can see all the in progress things here. Not started things here. Here you can see completed things, which are 0 here, but generally all completed courses you'll be seeing here in progress things you'll be seeing here. And if you go a little up, not started things, you will be seeing here. You'll be assigning a course to employee, but employee may do or may not do. If you go to employee profile and go on career activity, if you see whatever courses that are assigned to employee, you can see whatever courses that employee have completed. You should be seeing in the bottom. Here you can be getting completion status. Here you should be seeing in progress, not started. Career is nothing but which is a mixture of talent and learning. All the learning activities can be tracked and learned. These are all the modules. Whatever you see here, compensation benefits, payroll performance, career absence, these are all Workday modules. If you don't have a learning module for any kind of Workday customer, you will not be seeing this option. This option will not be seen. If a customer does not have benefits, you'll not see this one here. If a customer does not have a compensation, you'll not see if the model subscription is there. It is there. It will be shown. The client can select which of the modules they want to incorporate with. This is the main Workday. It's not the MS. This is generally a login landing page, home page of a Workday. For any employee, even if you log in, there should be a kind of view for you, how we can access. And now I currently logged in as Jack Cooling for this one. And if you click on View Apps, is there no View Apps? If you click on this, you should be getting on options here. If you come down, you should be seeing something called Learning and something called Learning Administrator. You will be responsible for this one. You will be getting this one because you'll be taking care of all that administrator layer. Activities of learning. You will be provided with this access and all your job will be based on this. And employees will be accessing their learning system by clicking on this, and learning administrator will be clicking on this and they'll be accessing all the administrator. All those tasks learning administrator will be performing. There will be a security group called learning administrator. Once you are assigned with the learning administrator, you should be seeing that if you are not assigned with the learning administrator security group, you'll not be seeing this one. Once you join any of the automation as a kind of a learning administrator position, your manager will request for the team. Here we have Mamta joining the kind of the learning admin. Grant her learning administrator access that she can take care of learning stuff in work-based system that you will assign your learning administrator access. You will be super user for learning module. You can perform any of the activity in multi-learning. As a end user can click on this, click on discover, click on browse learning. Once you go to browse learning, you should be seeing all the courses that are created. These are the list of the courses. You can see around a list of courses we have. I don't see any count populating here, but you should be seeing all the courses that are created here. Employee can access this course and take the kind of training kind of things. Employee can go into that and take care of the training part. If you're a learning administrator and if your organization wanted to have learning administrator to create any courses, once you create a course, you should be seeing all the courses coming here, and employee can come here and look for the courses that are assigned to them as part of onboarding training or as part of compliance training, anything. Employee can come here, pick up the course and take the training. I have a question here. In my current, if you create the course, unless I assign the course to user, they will not able to get the course. Even here also. Until you assign that course to employee will not be able to see them. They'll be getting a kind of link on their first day of joining or any kind of duration. I said campaign rate. A campaign will be getting more, and you should be seeing as a kind of manually email. You know, your learning administrator or learning team will be sending all the information but URLs. They can click on the URL and access the course. That's kind of things that can be performed. Basically, this is an end user view of a course. And now there is only activity that employees will be doing. They'll be going to the learning app. Click on the browse learning. They'll be getting a list of the courses in the report. Select the course and take the training. That is only job that the individual will be performing. But as a learning administrator, there will be a lot of tasks that administrator has to perform. You can see here all the dashboards that you can see here for on the learning related activities. Learner management. You can see here, this employee has completed 6, not started 6 courses, and there is no. And this employee has completed the in progress is 1. Nothing else got completed or started. Such kind of dashboard learning engagement. You can see it. And leadership team wanted to see that statics of the completions. They can see the graphical format of completion. These are all in a customizable, however you want it to have. How do you control this? These are all customizable. These are all we can create. These are all Workday team members the reporting team will be there. They will be creating this for you. You will be giving your requirements. Learning team will be giving them the requirements and according to the format. Reporting part. You will be giving your reporting requirements. According to that will be created. And they can see here in the Learning Administrator profiler, only can see schedule offering. Can schedule offerings of an employee and manage learning content, maintaining wishlets. Manage topics. Topics are nothing but umbrella of a course. You can create all these things from your dashboard. And you can see campaigns. Creating campaigns. Creating courses, creating lessons program. Yesterday, I told you. Courses are nothing but a kind of digital and blended courses. And the lesson is nothing but a way. Now you can add either a kind of survey to the course or kind of, documents in the form of a media ID. There will be some kind of recording videos also will be there sometimes. Recording videos. When employee takes the training, those recording videos will come under a kind of video. Interactive session will start. Similar kind of things that I can add as a lesson when you create a course and support program. I don't believe multiple courses, a bunch of courses. It can be a group of blended courses or a group of digital courses can be categorized as a program. And you are saying that as a program to employee. And when once employee completes all the learning, the things that you're assigned to a program, then your program will be completed or else your program will not be completed. Then the target deadline that your organization would have kept that in first. The employee should complete this program kind of thing. That is about dashboards and course options. If you wanted to see available courses, available lessons, available programs in the dashboard, you can come here and see. Or the list of topics that are available in both day, list of courses, lessons, programs, campaigns, all those things you should be able to find from the dashboard. This is the admin dashboard. This is admin. No others will have access to it. Only learning administrator can come here. That is on this thing. And any module. Any module, not only Workday Learning, any module to start with. To start with the learning module or any other benefits or a core H, or payroll or learning or recruiting anything, any module in Workday. First stage will start with security configuration and business process configuration. You'll be starting with that. Though you'll not be creating a business process or though you're not beginning a security, but that's how your implementation starts. And you, as a kind of a learning business partner, you should be able to take care of, any kind of, when implementation is going on, you should be giving your requirement that learning admin should have access to all the areas of learning, but should not have access to any other learning. That's kind of requirements you will be giving, and accordingly, security will be configured as defined action. Who is the security team? It's still in the Workday. Workday team members will be security configurators who have experience in security. They'll be managing the security within Workday. What access we need to provide to this user? Let's say you're joined. Your manager will reach out to security and saying that we have a grant her learning administrator access. They can assign learning administrator access for your work profile. And in Workday Learning, we have certain models. The one-day learning itself is a model, but within Workday Learning, you have positions, details you can have, and courses and all your node permissions that you will be having. Whatever you're responsible on data that is to perform in the learning system, all that access. Now, to perform something related to business process, the available business process, any business process that you wanted to identify in Workday, you need to give BP colon and the name of the BP. If I get your learning endowment is one of the business process we have, I click on learning enrollment. You can see the business process. When you enroll into the course and you wanted to have dropped that endowment that the employee has taken, you can go through this business process and cancel the learning endowment. Once employee into the course, but some reason, you don't want it to have your team member to go further, you can cancel the enrollment or you can drop the enrollment. If an employee has already completed the course and again don't want it, go with the scores. Once employee enrolls into the course, you should have an access to drop the enrollment. They can drop the template from the endowment. That is a dropping the endowment. Also, you can see, look. Manage course is one of the other business process that will allow you to create a course. Manage course is one of the standard business process that will allow you to create a course. If you don't have permissions defined in this business process, but create a position, create courses, not position, create course action. You'll not be able to create a course when you're not assigned as a user in a security group. Until you have the security, you'll not be able to create a course. And you can do a kind of conditions here when you're acting. This is a little bit, not technical I can say, but logical. Relate is. Let's say you have an employee enrolled into the enrollment. Ideally, manager has to approve the enrollment, but in general scenario, a manager will take a huge amount of time to approve or to take care of that. When manager is not available, the manager is not able to take an action. You're not able to approve the business process, or someone have requested a leave, or someone has completed the course. You're not able to move from current scheduled jobs. Basically, we have certain business process. One is managed course, which allows you to create a course without having no sense. To this one, you will not be able to create, and there is a drop in enrollment. If you wanted to drop an endowment for an employee in advance, you can do that on. Our employee also will have an access to drop that enrollment. You will be generally seeing the what is the enrollment kind of things in your current learning system. There's nothing, but we say no, it's employee into the course. One set, which allows you to manage course, create post-process. Another thing is a learning. You'll be having an option to do mass enrollment also, assigning a course to around those and employees in one go. There's one business. Mass enrollment will be one business process. If you're associated with this business process, generally you'll be getting a permission. Since you are administrator of a learning system, you'll be getting all the required permissions that allows you to enroll into the course for multiple tables. Mass enrollment. Let's say if there are around, 1,000 members globally are joining the next few weeks. If you wanted to assign the course compliance course to all these 1,000 members, you can do that and track them through dashboard. She'll be able to track all the completions and need kind of information from the dashboards. Once you assign course to enroll employees into the course and how employee is able to drive, kind of things you should be able to get all this information from mass enrollment. You're not bad users. There is a task called mass enrolled. There is a task. There's nothing about the business process. Whatever I'm showing is a business process. When you're having access to the business process, you should be able to access a task called mass enrollment. You can see there are certain kind of activities that you can perform. Mass enrollment is we are assigning multiple users. Multiple. Let's say there is an acquisition happening. As part of acquisition, you're getting 150 members into the organization. If you wanted to assign any kind of, learning courses to them, you can do all those things once they come into the general agreement of handling this one. Mass enrollment is another word which will be able to give you a kind of, enrollments for all the employees in one go for any number of employees. There is no restriction that you can only do grouping for 50 or 60 or 70. No. There's a kind of unlimited we have. You can do the kind of endowments without any kind of action. There's a task called enroll. Find workers to enroll. Click on this. We'll be making all these users. You'll be selecting one of the users. From where we will get this user or something. What is it? From where we will get this list. You will be getting, this is a report name. You need to access this report and will be getting all these users. Let's say your organization has 2000 members. All those 2000 members you'll be getting. And if you wanted to filter, you can filter. Let's say all as assistant controllers, we need to assign a course. You'll be selecting this one. How did I get this 2019 users? That was my question. That is a report. I'm saying find workers to enroll is the kind of report that I accessed. This is a report I accessed. You will be accessing this from the search bar. You'll input the name here. You'll input the name here and you should be getting that information here. Find workers to enroll. It'll click on this and you'll be getting all the workers here. You'll be provided with the name. When you join any organization, there will be a kind of mass enrollment kind of report. When someone is giving you a kind of knowledge transfer, they'll give you a kind of a mass enrollment report name. You'll be using that report to enroll people into that course. In my current elements, sorry to compare and ask you question that I can map the knowledge. That's why I'm asking you. No current elements. For example, we tie up with a vendor or client. And the client has 200 users. For the first time, what we do is we integrate with their HR system, whatever it is. Workday or SuccessFactors or whatever HCM they have. We will integrate that. It will generate the user automatically. But if they don't want to integrate with this system, we will manually add the users. In Excel sheet, we collate all the details of the users. If we have 200 users, the first name, last name, job role, job level, and we will collect that and we will upload the same in the LMS system. That is it. Here LMS is part of the Workday. It's not a Workday. LMS is not a separate system. When I hide into, no need to add the users. Map the user. Let's say I'm hiding the Workday system. And in my Workday system, Workday Learning model will be there. As an employee, I will be in a Workday system, but as a learner, I will be mapped to the learning system. The one that you said is a specific to learning. It's not a kind of complete HR system. Workday is a kind of complete R system. Instead, I told you I was talking about all the modules. When an employee gets hired into the system, that employee will be in benefits module. We can assign benefits to that employee. Payroll module. In performance, employee can access performance data. In learning model, employee can enroll into the course and a learning admission can access the employee as a learner in the Workday system. Now, I understood. Since Workday and Workday Learning System are within one system, you should be able to access it. Unique generation in the URL. If you wanted to access any kind of learning information, you'll be doing that in Workday itself. All the completions, all the in-progress things, all the not started things you'll be getting in Workday only. And this is one of the tasks that you typically use to invoke. And then you have more. First thing that you're doing is create course. If you wanted to create a course, there's a task called create course. You will be accessing the task and you'll be getting the task called Create Course. When you start creating a course, it will ask you which course that you wanted to create. You want to go with digital course or you want to go with blended course. Blended course is nothing but in-person things, classroom training kind of thing. Now I'll be selecting digital course. It's like click on. I should be seeing all the options of digital course. Title of the course and skill level of the course and description of the course, topics of the course and place where you can attach a file here. Any image you wanted to have to the course, you can attach those images. And status of the course, whether or not today you are wanting to use whatever course that you will be creating, today you wanted to use this. And after 3 years, no one wanted to use this course. In that case, you cannot, but you can inactivate this course. Inactivate this course. When you get this, you're seeing data see that's closed. Will not be able to access this course anytime because the state of the course is closed. When you want to create a course thing, I'll just create one course. Test course. Any module I can select, but we'll create one topic in our next session. I'm creating a course now and selecting this option here. Add less. You can see it still totally. You can listen, you can see survey, you can send. Media on tag. Media is nothing but a kind of recorded, the videos or any kind of, Chrome packages. You should have heard something called Scrum packages. Those Chrome packages can be attached here. This can be attached here and the video interactive file will be added to the course. And there is something called external content. Since you're creating a digital course and digital code is nothing but a kind of virtual course anyone can take from anywhere. And now external content. If you're going with the course, that it has to be a kind of external content. You'll be giving a kind of web server, web URL or Jumi URL, any URL that you give. You'll be getting a kind of email that you know on the content that we need to share URL, that we need to share to vendors. You're looking at some content is nothing but the kind of Jumi, or if has to join on the Jumi URL or someone has to join on the web URL. You'll be taking an action, all those things. And you'll be assigning this question respectively members. Once you, as I know everything, you'll be clicking on submit and then you'll be finding all that information. Course code creation probably will not immediately go over course creation. We'll try to understand the basics of what they're learning. And that is about creation. We'll create a lot of courses. A lot of courses will create and assign team members into that. Probably we'll do course creation as a group of employees. And what else you'll be performing as a kind of operator, operating analyst for security. The other thing you should doing is, since you'll be getting access as a learning administrator, this talent. Where is learning related things? And any employee who gets into Workday. Any employee who gets into Workday will be under supervisor organization. Have you heard anything called supervisor organization? That is the first thing that you should be doing. Supervisory organization is nothing but which is a structure of the system. Where is the organization you typically see manager in any HR system? You'll have a manager, and manager will have 2 or 3 members. Similarly, in Workday, we have organization which your manager will be managing, and you'll have 3 members getting under that organization. Let's say I'm a learning administrator. I'm a learning administrator and you're a manager who manages the learning team. And now I've joined the organization. Before my joining your place, the request to it. Also, a person is joining my team, grant all the required security. As how it was granted to me the similar kind of security. Access to this person, kind of information you're getting. And based on that, you'll be creating a course or you'll be accessing any information. Similar, there's a supervisor, nothing but which group's employees. If you see in this system, if you see here, Jacqueline is there. Jacqueline is it. If you go to her job, you can see Jacqueline has a supervisor organization of this one. This one. If I click on this one, you can see there are multiple organizations here. But we don't need to worry on all those things. We need to worry of these things who are part of the organizations. All those things you should be seeing. Similarly, tomorrow when you're joining any kind of organization, in the organization, you'll apply for a job. Once you see that position, open position, you apply for it. Either in LinkedIn or either in your way, you'll be submitting your job application. Since then, you wanted to get into the position. When you submit kind of courses that you wanted to be or complete, since you know that you wanted to track. You can take complete list of the organization and place an employee into that. If you're joining any organization that is hiring you and you have completed all the recruiting stages, and once your hire process starts, your onboarding will be official. You will be assigned with your post, information change. You will be assigned to one of the tasks that some other team member will be taking here, will be getting to your requests. That's kind of things you might be seeing. Basically, suppose that organization nothing but which group's employees, and make them to be part of the organization. Which groups the employees? If you see this learning system only as a kind of, let's say if I go to supervisor organization, click on supervisor organization, you can see these are all the people under the supervisor organization. You can see around 8 or 9 people are there under the supervisor organization. Let's say if I wanted to access this supervisor organization. You can see these are all the workers. Around 9 employees are. They will be part of this. Supervisor organization nothing but which group's employees to be part of the organization. Without supervisor organization, you cannot hire an employee without supervisor organization. You cannot hire an employee to the supervisor organization. You'll not be able to see that employee in the system because you don't have a supervisor organization. Then you can't get a member under supervisor organization. Supervisor organization is an important task that you should be familiar with. I think that should be good. I don't want to get overt content for you under that you can face. That should be good. What we're seeing, the very basic things. What is the task to create? First, we'll create a topic. Topics are which holds courses. Topics. Topic is an umbrella which will be holding courses. You say if you are creating a course for legal, a topic related to legal has to be there. All the courses related to legal will be under topic called legal. If you are creating the course something related to HR, there should be a topic which holds all the HR related courses. Under topic. For each of the category, you create a topic under which you will add a course to that. But you not create one topic for all the courses. Let's say a legal topic is there. You cannot place HER related courses and legal topic. Then the meaning will get changed. It will be kind of specific topic for each of the course type. I'm going to do the topic now. Create learning topic is a task that you'll be using. Create learning topic. And I can give legal and ethics. Legal and ethics, topic name. And you can place any kind of or delivered images. That provides some custom images. You can go to your local desktop, the custom images, those custom images. Since I have some delivered, one that worked there, I'm using the same and create a topic. Now I've created a topic called legal and ethics. Legal and ethics. This is the topic legal and ethics. And now I'm going to use this topic for my course that I'm going to create. Task called create course courses. First we'll go with digital course and then we'll go for blended and then we'll go for a program. Program is a combination of multiple digital courses and multiple blended courses. First, I'm going to the digital course. You will be getting requests from the requester. Basically, your learning team will be deciding which course that we need to have ready for onboarding an employee for benefit enrollments. Kind of things will create a course in team discussion and have it. Thank you. We have to fill up all the fields which are mandatory at least. The topic that we created before this time will be selecting them. That is legal and this is the one that we created. I've selected. And here, if you wanted to have employee needs, a kind of enrollment. Through enrollment, employee has to take a training. You need to check the checkbox. If you're not checking the checkbox and creating a course which does not require any enrollment, employee can directly go to the course, open that and take the training. But if we select this checkbox, it might require a kind of enrollment. We can configure some kind of approval flow to the enrollment. Let's say if the course has some cost associated, you cannot have the kind of permissions to directly enroll into that. That has to require a manager approval. Once a manager employee should be able to take that course. For such kind of cases, you check this checkbox and have employee to enroll into the course and then go for course taking. Keep on the case and you can keep this course status as open. And after a few years, you don't want to go with this, you can close this one. That's not necessary for employees, in that when they're selecting a code that they want to do in this module, when you are setting close to them, what is the course number? If you wanted to give a number, like something like this, you can give any kind of number that you wanted to pass. You can. There are a few options which are not mandatory but are good to understand. What are those things? Security category. If you wanted to have this course to be with a specific category. Let's say you're creating this for legal. If you wanted to have this legal to be specific to some legal team, not for all the employees, you'll be select that legal team security category here. Only legal team will be able to view this course. No other employee will not be able to. Legal group means a group of users. Let's say you belong to legal and I belong to legal. Look at this course. No other team will be able to access this course. We select that particular category. You'll be meeting a board. You'll be reaching out to Workday Security when asked, hey, we're creating a legal entity course for legal team. And we don't want to have all the employees to be accessing this course. Can you create a security category for legal that we can configure that other employees will not be able to access that course? You will be requesting security and they will be able to create that. Once they create that, you should be able to get that category in the instance. And skills, whether they're doing intermediate skills or what kind of skills that are required for this one. You will be adding this one. What kind of skills are required for this one? We can add this one and explore from recommendations, explore from search and browser. When you select this thing through any course that we create, we can search from the search bar. And also we can search from the report also. If you don't want to have it from the search and browser, you can select this one. And the moment we enter some related prefixes in the search bar, it will give the course. Let's say now I have created legal and employee legal and ethics training is what name I have been. If I enter employee legal, I think the moment I enter employee legal, the complete name will be related to this. If we should populate the complete name of the course, that's what it's saying. Explore from recommendations. If you don't want to have such kind of behavior, you can select. But you will not be able to get that in the search bar. The moment you are entering, you won't be able to get that. And language means we can create the course in different language. Different languages we can create. There are some things we'll be having recordings only in China. We can add languages in China. Do we have translation option here in Workday? We have translation by default that will take employee location based on employee location. And some of the payload options we have, let me see. Generally, you'll have here. You have something here which allows you to select display local language kind of thing. Based on the checkbox that you select, your local language will be populated here. You're seeing here good evening announcement kind of things. If you have selected your local language and you are in China, all these general things will be populated in Chinese language, including courses. No course name will not change, only general things. Good evening. This Monday, these are all the general homepage. Things will convert into these things. This will not go. Announcement will be populated as it is because that is reconfigured. Reconfigured, not provided by Workday. Whatever Workday delivered, things are there. Those names will get changed into original language. That's how we select. And when you select this inactive, inactive is nothing, but when you see that this code is no longer needed, that no one will be able to enroll into this course. And who is the contact person for this course? Kind of course owner, I can say. Who is creating the course? Portioner is nothing but who manages the particular course enrollments and assign credits. All these things you should be able to find them. Since it got refreshed, now we will need to create again. This is all. If you wanted to exclude from the recommendation in the course name, you can access this. And if you don't want this to be closed into search bar, you can select this. And if you want this to be discussed, you mark as inactive that no employee will be able to enroll into this. You can select this as inactive and contacts. Contacts is nothing, but who will be the course owner for this? That person will be taking care of reaching out to employees. Hey, you have not completed this course and this course has passed due timelines. Please complete this email. The course owner will be sending and that course owner will be able to send. Let's say if employee is not seeing any kind of completions around employee, by getting into this Workday, employee can reach out to course owner from the checklist and get any kind of clarifications or questions resolved. Time value, how much time this course will take. We have minutes, hours, days and weeks. You can go. Duration to complete the course. No, not complete the course. Duration of the course. It will take if start complete. It will take 1 hour time or 2 hours time. How much time it will take? That's the kind of duration. Got it? There are a few things that you need to remember here. Mostly you will use the option called cost. Cost is there. Whenever you wanted to have cost to be created, it has cost to be added. Add something called create. You will not do this. Create sales item is not your task. This is something in finance team task. They use this one and create sales item which will be populated in the list. You can see all the sales. List of sales item will be seen here. Once sales item is created, you will be seeing in the list. And similarly, you will be providing your request to some of the finance team who will be creating sales item. And revenue category is also something in finance team will be taking care of and select anything related to the existing thing. And I can give cost to sales item pricing. If I wanted to unit cost to $100, unit price to 200. We can select the currency. Currency. Also, currency automatically be populated in the USG, which will be converted into your local currency. You need to measure hours. Now I have added cost to the course. Now, if anyone wanted to take this course, it will be costing around $200. Around 200 has got added here. And then adding a lesson. That's important. I told you. By now, Chrome files, PDF files, if you wanted to send any Zoom URL, WebEx URL kind of things, this is where you'll be selecting all those things. If you wanted to send this training through Zoom URL, select external content. We'll provide external URL here. We'll just Zoom URL and provide this and submit this. You'll be seeing this URL and they'll be able to click on it and access the course. And similarly, we have media, which is nothing but recorded videos. And any kind of Chrome files. You would have heard something called Chrome files. Those Chrome files can be attached here. You can attach from your local desktop or you can load them into Workday and call them into here. I'll show how you can add them into Workday and then call it here. First, before you pick it from here, there is something called Drive. You can load your profile into Drive. In Drive, you'll first load your CRUM files. Access CRUM files. You can create a separate folder. Workday Legal. An ethics folder you'll create. And attach some kind of a Scrum files here. I don't have any Scrum files. I'll attach normal files. In this scenario, you'll attach your Scrum files. Since I've selected Excel files, but in the real case, you'll be selecting Scrum files. I've created a folder and attached documents here. Now I want it to have. You can see this folder has got created. Now I can call this file into the course action. Drive, you can give Drive. Click on this. Select any of the files and click on it. In the real scenario, you'll upload a Scrum file. Now you've created a lesson with Scrum file and submit this file. Also submit this. This course gets created in Word. Now as a learner, if I wanted to go and find this course, I'd click on View Apps. Go to the Learner icon. It should look like it's used for learning. Not discovered. This is the legal course we created. And since we checked the checkbox called Enroll, we're seeing Enroll option. If you select Enroll checkbox, we will not see this one. And since the duration that we have given is 60 minutes, we are seeing this 60 minutes. And this is the course details. If you would have shared any additional course details, that will be populated here. Where is the file? Which one? File the lesson. If I click Enroll, once I click on Enroll, then only I will get them. It prints for manager approval. The kind of process is there. Since this is related to cost rate, cost is associated with this one. It has went for manager approval. I'll get this approved from manager. A proxy is one of the manager and approve the enrollment. You can see they approve this. You know event has got approved. What about the proxy? Did we talk about proxy in last session? Not. Proxy is nothing but where you can proxy as another person. Let's say now you're there. You're a learning administrator and I'm not a learning administrator, but I'm a Workday developer. Now your team has asked me, hey, Amit, I wanted to create some kind of process. And I wanted to have a business process configured. The moment Roy submits the enrollment, it has to go for manager approval. This kind of request you'll be placing with me and I'll test that one. I'll configure and I'll be testing as you, since you know you're the requester. Ensure that you know that with your access is working fine or not. I get a proxy access. I'll be proxying as you and will do a kind of transaction and ensure that it is going for approval process. And I just following the approval process. The proxy is nothing but which, on your behalf, I'll be able to access your login to test any kind of functionality that you have requested. Even I have this in my current MS, we call it impersonate. Oh, impersonate? Similar kind of things. We will take an action on behalf of an employee and user kind of things. Now I proxy out as an employee and we'll see whether I can go to the enrollment now. Enroll role is completed. You are learning. I need to go as a learner. Yes. It was close. Now, if you click on course, I'll be getting a spreadsheet. You can see whatever spreadsheet that I have attached. I should be getting it. This is how we are doing in test tenant. I was able to upload that. But in general scenario, in actual tenant, you will be getting video. Can I play here itself or I have to play here? You can play here itself. You can play here itself and a new window will be opening. And from that window, you can play that. That's how you create a course now. Now we are aware of creating a course, assigning a lesson, assigning some kind of external content, URL kind of things, and go for any kind of what it will do. And creating topics is one thing that we have done, and my logic in the business process we have seen. That's how this is a course. Now we try to create a blended course. Clear on the digital course. Yes. The same kind of class values. Create course. I said type as blended. Since this is a little different, everything is in person. You need to provide your instructor all these things you need to provide. Since it is an instructor-led training, which is a classroom kind of training. then the name as transport. Transport. This we need to have a separate topic for this, but I'll say that since you know how to create a topic, I'll select this one only. But in general scenario, you'll have separate topics for transport. Here in blended course, now we have an option. How many numbers you can restrict? If you wanted to have only 10 members in the classroom, you can restrict minimum enrollment capacity and maximum enrollment capacity. You can do this. You wanted to have at least minimum 5 members to start the classroom training, and maximum you need to have should not be greater than 10. This one and waitlist capacity. If I give two other kind of waitlist capacity, it will be showing a kind of a list for you to wait. If there are 2 members, before you enroll, it will show you where you have to waitlist capacity, kind of things. But if you don't want to have, you can set unlimited capacity. Unlimited means it's open to any number. Or maximum. I mean it's unlimited. It's no specific. It's not specific. Any number of employees can enroll into this. Same options. What we have seen there. Same option. You can see here. And disabled express interest. If you wanted to have some kind of option enable express interest or enable disabled express interest. Some kind of option you will be seeing. Not show your interest in accepting this by taking off the checkbox. If you're not agreeing this set of checkbox, some kind of options we've been seeing. Similar kind of things as being. This is a good expression. Just by enabling this option, the learner can express their interest. And from many blended courses, it has to be effective. By default, you will see today's date. And from today's date, this course will be effective. I'm questioning. Can I have multiple days? For example, if I have session and it keeps continued till next week or daily basis, something like that. Which one? Can you come again? Can I add series of sessions? Daily wise. You're saying, for example, now this is the course, transport and the employment policies. In one day, I can't complete all the policy, transport policy. What I do? I will take 1 hour every day and we will have a couple of hours and complete that training for my users. In that case, how can I give the start date and end date? As an employee. For this thing, blended courses. If it is something in person, you don't have a kind of specific date because you need to be available in person to date. The reason why you're seeing effective date here is from this date, from 18th of March, your course is effective. From this date, your course will be available in the system. If I try to find this course on 3/17, I will not be able to find it because this course is effective from 3/18. From that particular date, you will be able to access this course. And if you wanted to have any kind of date range based thing, probably once we are done the campaign, you can give campaign dates. Something called a campaign where you can do some kind of customization. Can you show me the drop down for a time value? You have minutes, hours kind of things. Can I add timings also start time? No, you cannot add time starting. You have minutes and all. From there you can track. These are the only options that you can select, but you cannot schedule anything outside of this. Windows these months before expiration. If you send an expiration date before it goes, auto delete. If you have created and the course after 2 or 3 months you feel that you don't want to have all the employees to be working under this huge course. You'll be setting up that kind of expiration. If you don't want to have today you're creating and next month, and you don't want to have this course to be available just for 1 week or 1.5. You wanted to have this kind of course to be applicable and setting that as a kind of expiration. If you give few months before expiration, it will be seen a kind of expiration notification. Such kind of things will be required in this area. Advanced learning expiration for workers. We will not use this. Now, since you have created a blended course, we have some kind of things that you need to do. One is allowed instructors, allowed assessors, allowed locations. Allowed in the sense that 1 or 2 instructors will be assisting you, and the other assessors in the sense will be granting you credits. Credits in the sense kind of score, I can say. 1 credit is something which will give units. Such kind of things you can add instructors. The assessors and locations are typically same. I'll save it to any of the instructors because for blended courses, instruction is mandatory. I'll let some person randomly submit. Concept of the instructor. Because it's not an instructor, it's a classroom organization. It's not an old instructor for doing this. The instructor is not a node. This person does not have any kind of error. Basically, it takes based on the person who is added as an instructor who have an ability to maintain as a kind of course instruction, blended course. This is also you. Whenever you wanted to have blended course or whenever you're implementing the work direct, you'll give all the instructors list to work direct team members and they'll be creating list of instructors. And you can select them as an instructor when you're creating a blended course. Similarly, assessors also. Similarly, you'll go with assessors also. Now, blended course, you can go with multiple scenarios here. In person, the training is what you know that you're doing. Can I add multiple lessons? You can add multiple lessons. Let's say I'll add one more lesson. Second cursor we created, but we have not added this reason it was early. I'm doing something similar. We got blended course that is required if created. In order to find this, you need to find those kind of things. The quality of you'll be creating a blended course and then create a course offering and that will be showing here. We'll be selecting course offerings. Starting with blended course. Now, the difference between digital course creation and blended course is whenever you're creating a lesson. But in digital course, you don't have an option called in-person classroom training. Blended course, you have an option to have in-person instructor course of option you have, which you'll be checking that. That's how we create a course and blended course. And the other thing is a program. We also have a program combination of multiple digital courses and multiple blended courses. Digital and 3 blended, or you can have 1 sister and 4 blended kind of things. You can add anywhere that you can create a program. And when you assign this to employee, how it works is once employee completes all the 5 or 6 courses, then only your program will be completed, or else your program will be in progress only. It's as similar as how we know we created blended and digital, similar as that. And what we combine are the created blended and digital courses into program. Create program is the task. Create program. Let's say if employees join new hire onboarding or kind of things, we'll have some kind of bunch of courses assigned to new hire. That can be a blended and digital. It can be anything. We can say new hire onboarding. In the content for the program is it will ask you for. It can be digital or blended course or lesson. Because program is, it is a kind of activity where you can consider bunch of digital and bunch of blended courses. I can first go for blended content. It's still a bit something recorded the name of it. Yes, something and I've taken them. Oh, then their course and I'm going to add another content. I can go with another blended content. The same. Something like, what is that? Legal and transporters. I've taken 2 blended courses and then we're going with digital. I'm given a bunch of digital and blended courses. Submit this. Program is managed by business process. It's a plan for an approval. We're going to approve this one. Learning administrators. In general scenario, you will be getting a kind of approval notification. Because the learning administrator, core users or business partners for learning applications. You will be getting the kind of approvals which you need to approve this one. By default, it will go for approval. No, not by default. We need to set through business process. We'll be setting. If you don't want to have approval, we'll not set that approval step. It's kind of business process flow. If I enroll as an employee, Jacqueline enrolled into this one. Submit this. How it is going to appear in Jacqueline's profile is if I go to Profile, Learning. Just see here. New Year onboarding journey which we added enroll today. She has enrolled and the completion status. She has not started doing this. That would be the registration status. This is your course. Assignments for an employee will look like. Now we just deal with creating digital blended and program. Now, if someone asked you to create a course, you should be able to handle by creating this because it's simple, straightforward. Once we create this, courses are assigning the employees that ask. One more thing that your learning team will be doing assign employees one of the major tasks. That you can do one of the tasks called mass enrolled. I think we did see a thing because they know we are saying to do. Jacqueline. Now we are assigning mass. And this is you can do for bulk employees. If you are a manager, you will be getting few tasks. This is how you know you do a kind of mass assignment. If you wanted to assign to specific group of people who are based on management, if you want to has any concern at the management level, if you want to have all the directors to get assigned this or finish the boy just you wanted to have, you can set up this. Also, if you wanted to have specific job profiles to be associated with, only consultants has to do this. When you set up the checkbox on the 52 consultant will get shortlisted here from. You can see all this. This one is for certain assistant controller and we're getting all those 183 people. I can assign them in one go to all these folks. Now we just selected that 183 nurses. After 180. How to confirm it? We need to have a kind of proceed button. Then there will be a checkbox. We need to check all the checkboxes and then we'll be getting an option to proceed further. Do we have option to select the individual users in book? You can. If you're not selecting in this way, we can get. There should be a checkbox. We are able to see that. Seems that you see. Let's see. It is for this employee. This employee. This one, there should be a checkbox. I think since this is just a checkbox. And once we check the checkbox, I think it should allow us to proceed further. I think Jacqueline is not a manager. She's a learning administrator. She should be able to check what security Jacqueline has. If she's not learning, she should not be able to. Business administrator, and we both are secure, you can see. This is a profile account. Security groups. He's listed. She should be able to. Let's see if she has any team. We try to assign to her team members as a manager. I can assign only to my team, or how? If you're a learning administrator, you can do for anyone. If you're a manager, you can do only for your team. Only my team. If you're a manager, you can do for only your team. But if you're a learning administrator, if you're already assigned to all the global employees in one go, you can do that. Manager means the reporting manager. They're putting. Jacqueline is a reporting manager and she has to be able to put into them. You can include all these people from management dashboard. This is something called manager dashboard. My team management. I'm trying to see if I can have a look at this. I had a course from the actions. No, I'm trying to. I'm just doing the members. When I am doing this and I see an option called assign as a required learning, if it is required, it is a kind of mandate. I'll be setting this one. You did type if you want to give any specific due date. Let's say to it. There should be checkboxes in here. I don't see checkboxes. You said at least one person to enroll. But there is no checkbox to check. There is no checkbox to check. Are you able to see any checkboxes? You're not seeing anything. Looks like this. This is what we are seeing. The cloud one? That is what? Generally, we select to the employees' high rates and submit. They will be enrolled in a learning program. I'll see why the checkboxes are not there, but generally checkboxes will be there and find out why these are not there. Even for mass indoors, it has to be that you can select multiple employees there to assign. I find out the option why these are not populating and check and let me know tomorrow. There should be some security missing. I need to see what is happening with this. That's how we go with assigning the cost of multiple team members. Once they should be able to complete that within the 2-day timelines and get that completed in the learning worker profile. I should write in the career learning profile. When you go there, it will be updated as completed or it's still in progress or not started. Kind of thing from learning. Yes, from learning. It's a career. If you would work a profile, career profile. The profile? What about the career? Click on this. Career learning. And I can see whatever it was, and you can see for Jack. There is a new fire on one journey. You can see the first and the state of the same legal and ethics. You're able to find. When are you managed with the course program and the course? The detail of to which course we are going to move or the particular course as into how many uses will be visible in the report section. What is that? Can you come again? Is that report related? Data detail of how many courses we are assigned to how many users or how many users completed a particular course and will be visible in the report section. Yes, we need to create a report. Let's see if you wanted to have data visibility. I wanted to understand how many employees have completed this. How many employees started this but not completed? How many employees did not start it? If you want to have this information, we can create a report for you and share that report to you. And you can track that and reach out to the employees saying that the boss, this is meeting the deadline of completion. Complete this one and let me know. You can look the manager and ask the team members to complete that. Can we have option to trigger, sending the trigger? Option to trigger. Email is something campaign will do. Campaign will be sending an email. When we are assigning any courses or topics, whatever, user will get the email. Campaign will be running based on the report. Let's see if you wanted to have campaign to be collected with all the new files every day. We will create that report and make that report return all the new files that they are running every day. Today you have 2 new files joined. This report will be pulling 2 new files. And tomorrow it will be pulling 2 new files. And tomorrow it will be pulling 1 new file. But you do not repeat the same employees when the hire date is completed. You create such kind of a report to my campaign and schedule that campaign and campaign will be running every day. Collect the information was joined with a different hire date and fix that. That every employee will be getting email notification on the compliance courses. That's how it works. Now we are aware of these 3. We'll try to see how course offerings and campaigns can be managed. Course offering. The reason why we are not getting the ones that we are looking is those are not blended courses. Only blended courses will get. Only blended courses can be added to the offerings. You cannot add digital or programs. Offering number is just a random number. You can give anything. Any sequence that you wanted to have, you can go. Whatever instructor that you've added at blended course level, you get the same instructor. And if you want, you can also change for different courses. I have 2 courses which I'm assigned as a blended and taking this as a kind of a linear assignment for an employee. I think lesson order. You can see here start date. You can give when it is going to start. And the script scheme is something that pass or fail is something that you wanted to. You wanted to give that employee has failed or passed. You can give them course level. But blended courses are classroom courses. But you have to evaluate whether it is a passed or a. Let's say if there is any kind of classroom training happening. And blended courses, combination of multi-people, even you can attach digital course also. We can attach. And if you have attached some kind of questionnaire, you are on any kind of example, you are an employee can answer the question. If I'm on the question, clearly you'll make it as a pass or it will be fail action. Since blended is a combination of digital and blended, it should be able to track that and give a kind of failure completely or completed, successfully conducted. It started. It must have not been your field. But here we have not given. Why is this throwing it? For the first course, I have not given the data to start data in the year of 19. We can define this data and get our each course. We added each offering that we can attach. Now our offering got a sub digit for an approval, and we're going to get this for an approval. Now we are saying, of course, offering the federal courts offering. Let's go and see whether it is sitting. Let's see. Sitting in. various process. We can see all the approvals are completed. There is no pending approval. We should be able to manage this course offering. Now we're managing offerings. Now we'll just go for discussing high-level information. Campaign. Campaigns are nothing but a kind of schedule which can take all the learning-related tasks to employees. We need a kind of a new hire or any kind of other category of employees can get. Campaigns, understand, have all the activities in the campaign managed action. Campaigns are nothing but schedule or carry the kind of course information to employees and get them enrolled into them. Let's say new hire. New heads are there. And by the third day of the new head, every employee has to enroll into new hire courses. You will be assigning in that way. When employee receives an email saying that this is the course you're learning a teacher has assigned and click on this link, you'll be navigated to the course and then go into the course. Your onboarding kind of a journey you can complete. They'll give all the kind of summary, issues, description, and I'll show you how we can do that. Based on that learning, administrator will be sending campaigns to employees. There will be a report also. On the report basis, let's say every day there will be a kind of new hire. It will be hard for you to identify who is new hire kind of information. It will be very hard for you. There will be a report that will be attached and the report will be giving you all the new hires. It will automatically pick that new hire and send a campaign to that employee. You'll schedule that every day it will run and there are any events. It will pick that new hire and send campaign to that employee. Just try to see if something called existing campaigns are there. I'll just see how it works. Then we will create a new one. I can show one of the existing ones and talk on that one that will be created. You can see here. A lot of information is there. You can see. Campaign type is learning campaign. And started when it has to start. And category which is required learning. And for all the audience, for all the contingent workers. All workers, contingent workers. In the sense, non-contingent workers around about 30 and an employee are part of this one. We should be getting all these details. And the audience in the sense is nothing but a report. A report will be there and they will be managing the report. That's how it has to work. And you can see the delivery details how campaign has to send information to employees. Here you can see what is the course title and the send date. how it has to go for an employee. You can configure all those things in a campaign. It's a mobile notification. We can send email and also mobile notification. If you can push notification, it will be sent to mobile action. That's the kind of delivery option it has. You can select those to every enrollment. That employee will be getting a push notification. Basically here, what you need to understand is one is who are all the audience. You need to check. If I click on the audience in the next report, you see it is a kind of hyperlink action. You can see all workers audience and required learning and selection. There aren't any kind of course here. You can see this will be the report. All workers is the report from this report. You're getting those employees. Open this one. Whenever it runs every day, it will be updating the contact tomorrow. Today we have around 1300 and tomorrow there might be new heads. 10 new heads might get joined. It will update the account based on that. And it will get assigned to them automatically. It will be assigned from the report. This report is giving 10 new heads. All those 10 people will be getting that email and they'll be enrolling into that course. Based on the report, you'll be attaching that report to the campaign. The same way you're seeing on my screen. It will be a report. But the report request is for more than around 100 or 180. They have around 200 contingent workers. For all those contingent workers, the campaign is sent. That's what I've seen. I'll quickly show you the steps of creating, but we can test this in the end. Because this is the main area where you'll be working. I'll name this campaign as new if. Here we'll be selecting a custom report. Let's say if you're taking a custom report, it's not having anything. It will go ahead and create a report and that will come in this list. But generally the audience will be custom report only. There is no existing one. They'll take one of the tested products. Start date. I'll keep this from tomorrow. From tomorrow it starts running. And it will be generated based on the tomorrow's date. We have to select the previous date. Previous date. Last updated date. It was asking we've taken previous date. We have created a campaign and add an item. Here you'll be adding the line items of the course. This is in the campaign. If you wanted to add an item like which course has to go for this. What kind of message that you wanted to send and what is the due date that you wanted to give for an employee. And I write a custom report. We'll be calling a custom report here. We'll be calling that custom report here. We wanted to send a Blender course name. Here go to the setup. And here it will be sending email and publish and message whatever message that you wanted to populate here. You're getting whatever message that you want to add to the employee. It's asking only the name from display name. Adding the email ID, that's fine. We are onboarding course assignment. It is complete. We are onboarding course. You're done. Like that we will generally give, but in real scenario, we'll have a huge message. Send date when you wanted to send this. You want to send today and the due date. When is the due date? It has to be around 5 days. I can say 5 days from the due date it has to. And we have the review. Let's make sure everything is correct. Let's use the not option. I ensure that everything is correct. Then I've submitted. Now we've created a campaign. Once we've submitted, the campaign has been sent. The campaign has been sent. You can see in the process, you can see where it is going. Automatic approval. It will be automatically sent an employee who is meeting the criteria of the report. All those criteria will be managed from the report, and every employee from the report will be getting this campaign information. But here that campaign, we didn't select to whom it should go. Do you remember the report that we have selected once? One of the existing reports. From there it will pick up the automatically. The report will give audience action. The report will give a few. The report is nothing but which will return employees. To those employees, This campaign will be assigned automatically every day when it runs. That's how this is managed. Now we have assigned this one. Now scheduling this campaign. We will be scheduling this campaign that every day it will automatically run this one. Now we have just created a campaign. Now we attached a kind of schedule to the campaign. We take this. New hires on voting journey campaign name. New sounding. This is our campaign. Select daily. If you wanted to have daily, you can select daily. And we'll give campaign scheduler. Campaign scheduler and start time. When you wanted to have this every day, ma'am, if you wanted to send, you can select the time. And if one day you wanted to send, from today if you plan to have this sent. Till tomorrow, I wanted to have this to be done and we'll schedule this. Now, when this runs, this will pick up the campaign and it will be sent to what is missing. Start times will be in the future. Or you can say 20 to 20. Now it will be running as per the schedule that we have made. And we'll be sending a kind of email notification to all the members who are part of that report. That report will give us audience report and overall part of the report. Your campaign will be sending information to them. It will run every day as per your schedule and send this to target users. One is creating a campaign is one process and scheduling the campaign is another process. Yesterday we discussed campaign, how to create a campaign, how to attach report to campaign with which campaign notification will be sent to users, and then how to schedule that campaign that automatically. Every day it picks the users and send the content to the employees. We'll try to recreate that today, again by creating from scratch, without picking any of the existing things. We can do it from scratch. I'm going to create a report now that pulls all the employees who have hired into Workday from last week. Today is 20th of March. Probably from 1st of March to till today, all the people who have hired into the system, we are going to pick them and send a campaign to them. Create custom report is a task. Campaign schedule, advanced type of the report is advanced. And all these things you don't need to know because this is something in a reporting concept which you don't have access to in a real Workday tenant. All active and terminated workers which will look for employees and terminated. Now, we wanted to have all the employees who have hired in the last 1 month. ID worker name. I'm adding the fields to whatever the basic information that you want it to have. I'm adding the fields. An employee type. The country of the employee. Now, we wanted to have employees who have hired from 1st of March. Not all the employees hired at greater than or equal to 1st of March. And make report as a web service enabled report that your campaign can identify the report. Check this checkbox. This makes a report as a web service enabled report that this report can be attached to the campaign's indications or anything. Now I added a filter to return the data of employees who have hired from 1st of March. I have around 65 members. I think count is too much. I'll adjust this. Probably any 10 maximum I would be needing, probably reduce the filter. I've given from 1st of March and changed the filter to 10th of March. Now we have around 49. You can still see the count is huge, but that's fine. I have employees who have hired on or after 10th of March. I see around 49 employees. Now to all these 49 employees, we need to send a kind of survey. It's not survey campaign action. I've selected date greater than or equal to 1st of March, the 10th of March. Greater than or equal to 10th of March, that employees who have hired on 10th of March or after 10th of March will get picked up. Now we use this report as a source for campaign. Create campaign. New fired campaign. Type learning campaign. Because we ordered it as learning course. Audience type. Since we wanted it as custom report, we will be taking custom report. campaign, this name. We have got new heads campaigns to release the report names we have given. Create audience first. Available for in the sense of multiple areas. We can use campaign not only for learning, we can use for recruiting campaign. We can use some campaign for extended learners. We can use for standard students. We can also use for any kind of service. Also, we can use campaign. We don't want all the sixes. We want to send the learning related campaign. We have selected learning related campaign. Even extended interface learning campaign is also something related to learning. When you wanted to send some campaigns to extended enterprise learners who are not part of the Workday but still international workers who are part of extended enterprise learning application, which is a kind of learning application for international workers who can access learning without Workday access. They don't need to have Workday access because they will be extended learners. They can get just learning application access, which is extended enterprise learning module. If you wanted to trigger a campaign to those folks, you can select campaign papers. This one. Now I can submit. What is the error we are getting? Select a valid customer report. For current dates, you select it. And whatever. Selection. Connect types. Connect types. What is connect type? Is there anything here? You can put the area. Then we have round dates for crash specific learning. What is a report? I think there is one different report. Create a campaign. Now we have picked the report and campaign should start from 1st of March. Let's give the date. It has started as a new date. We are going to remove the number of the restrictions before this date. Now we have created the campaign. And now we have created the campaign. Now, once you create a campaign is nothing but a sensor notification. We need to have information that the employee can understand when the campaign comes to them. Click on Add Item. Click on Add Item. You have multiple items here. What content that you want to send to the employee, that they can understand what it is and what is first. Data New Hire campaign. Content type learning course. Let's say if we need to attach a course which employee has to take. We have created a couple of courses. I'm taking from that course a learning ethics is something that we created. It should be legal. We attached a course to this and then set up. Set up how you wanted to send this information through email and mobile. Don't need to touch anything. You can keep as it is. Learning team. I'd like to please complete your new hire onboarding course. Is complete your new hire onboarding course. The course report. Do timelines. Don't be close. When you wanted to have this to be on you. Let's take somewhere around to 25th, I can say. It will send on the due date. If you wanted to have this to be scheduled as a kind of standard and without any kind of schedule, you can send this one. That on 3:45 will be sent to employee. Only first of the current campaign can be sent. If you wanted to automate this process, for every week you need to schedule this campaign. Once you schedule this, it will go for all the employees picked up by the report every week. and then review. We submitted the campaign. I will go to the campaign. This is automatically approved. Now we have created a campaign. What is the source for the campaign? Employees who have hired from 10th of March to till date. We have created a report that has a filter for the employees. Now we are going to use that in our kind of a schedule that will be making for a campaign and validate this from employee profile. For scheduling that you can select this one. New hire campaign. I'll name this. And frequency. You can see there are around 50 members. This notification has to go. I've selected daily occurrence. You click. Collaborator KT. Sort time should be from 6:35. I can give. It's a 35 which is 6:35 today's date. $6:35. India to India. I'll change your time to India. But you can see our 6:35 time is now 6:35. We should be able to see this. Schedule this. Click on one now. It will run this, and for all 30 employees or 50 employees, a notification will be sent. Once this is completed, we will evaluate this. Let's press it. Is it completed or not? 9% there. I'm going to the related actions of the schedule and I'm selecting an option called if you go to the process. Schedule is there. Go to this process schedule process. I've selected run now. Run now option. But I'm not selected as per the schedule. It should have gone. But now, since I've selected a run, now manual figure has happened. It is running. Yes, whatever you have seen and you asked is correct. I've skipped in from tomorrow. But since I wanted to test that to see whether getting the content or not, I've used no default option. Let this complete and we can. Let's see, this is completed. This does not take much time. If there are thousands or more than thousands, it will take little time to trigger a campaign. But we have just 30 to 40. It should not take much time. But since this tenant is a training tenant, it's not a kind of mail. Mail can be slow when you're from Baruch. Real talent also. Sure, start checking them. There's the campaign report. How should I have gotten into the business? I can really kind of check in there. There are 50 employees and practice first employee. And see where they're able to see on the required mission. We don't have an option. Let's see if I'm able to process this employee. Generally for the employees that only in this tenant, not in our tenants. Proxying as the employees with the profile that we created is a little hard. But in real tenant, they should not see this thing. Let me find any employee who can get this info. In the simple just don't have. I'm trying to process one of them. For the new hire employees. From March to late. The vendor who has given access, the vendor has a restricted for us to proxy as them. We go to business. What I can do? The schedule is completed. The schedule is completed now. Five minutes. All we need to do is whether the employee has got this task as per the campaign or not. We need to check. Let me pull all the employees that we can see that interested in employee can get this campaign. But this employee we have. Ideally, this employee should have received the campaign. Let me just check if the notification setup is there or not. I think the initial notification does not have an access to the notifications. Because there is a reason why if I click on this, you can see that will come and go back. It's not allowing me to configure these things. They click on this. It has to open the setup. But it is going back. You can see this is going back again. See, it is going back. I think this tenant has some kind of restrictions in managing the notification. But I think the process is simple. You should have understood now. We have created a report which pulls all the group of employees which hired that you wanted to have. You'll be asking your reporting team in Workday to create a report. And they'll share you the report. You use that report in your campaign and attach as an audience in order to create a report, for the campaign. It's not like directly. You can attach. You need to create an audience. Audience is nothing but who will be part of campaign. You're adding audience. When you're creating an audience, you'll be selecting the type as campaign. Type as learning related campaign. And there you'll be selecting your report. With that, your audience would be ready for campaign. Then you go and attach this audience to your campaign and follow the further process and then submit a campaign. And then when you schedule this one, you'll be running a campaign and that will trigger notifications to all new hire employees. That's again a simple process, but you need to know how to handle that. That's about campaign. Now we are clear with the campaign, leading courses and the campaign. Topics program blended course learning course. And we also discuss course offering rate. It's not probably tomorrow's session. We can cover course offering also. Once we are done with the course offering, what are the rest of the items? That learning team will be responsible. We'll discuss and perform an activity on that. than what generally you do in your learning experience. Apart from these, creating courses and assigning those courses to employees, what did you do in your typical day-to-day support for learning application? Learning, something I am not aware that we can discuss in tomorrow's session. Learning part of your program is nothing but combination of courses. We can schedule the courses we have reporting. Generally, you have all the task-related learning, not just this one, but the create course. We have created a course. We have created a campaign. Those are all tasks. Generally, you see all the tasks here. If you don't know, you can come here and look for it. Not only that, you can just, if you're not aware of, let's say, campaign, you wanted to create a campaign. You don't know, create campaign task. You're not aware. Just enter campaign. Just enter campaign. You're getting all the related tasks. Hit enter. Hit enter. And all the tasks related to campaign, you should be able to see. Come down. These are all the tasks. And these are all the tasks that you're seeing in related to campaign task. This is a task. These are all the tasks. How many tasks? We have around 25 tasks. You can click on View All and you can see campaign status, category, campaign, email and text by item. And if you come down, you should see Create Campaign Task. Create Campaign, Edit Campaign, Create Campaign Task, Edit Campaign Task. Just such criteria. That's it. You enter what you're looking for. Just literally, it will pull what you're looking for. If you don't know the actual task, go or even the creation. Also, if you are creating, just use Serially Create Campaign. If there is a task, you can create a campaign that will return. Got. What is the kind of user-friendly system than others? From what I've seen. Only the thing is, the other thing is there are certain prefixes that you can use for campaign. I don't see any. There is a question tag. If you enter question tag and hit enter, you're getting all the prefixes that you can use for search criteria. These are all the prefixes. Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel.